microtransactions and
DRM.
Downloadable content.
What's up, gamers? Welcome to Gamer Rant. So I've been up since like noon yesterday, but we got to do a video, right? Because we've been incognito for almost a month, and the last video I did happened to be Sunday. So Walmart removing violent video game displays from stores. Yeah, so this apparently follows two shootings inside its stores, according to the article. Walmart is removing violent video game displays and signs from stores. The retailer confirmed Thursday. Let's see, the article was for August 9th, because obviously this is an old, kind of slightly old topic. Stores were sent a memo that called for immediate action to remove signings and displays that contain violent themes or aggressive behavior. The memo circulated on Twitter and Reddit, and Walmart officials confirmed its authenticity to USA Today. We've taken this action out of respect for the incidents of the past week, and this action does not reflect a long-term change in our video game assortment, said Tara House, a Walmart spokesman, in a statement. On Friday, hashtag boycott Walmart and hashtag video games are not the problem were trending on Twitter. A change.org petition calling on Walmart to stop the sale of guns also grew and had more than 57,000 signatures by Friday. Okay, so let's see. Then on... Oh, yeah. And then, of course, August 3rd... 22 people were killed at a Walmart store in El Paso, Texas. Days after, two Walmart managers were killed by a gunman described as a disgruntled worker in a store in South Haven, Mississippi. On Thursday, in Springfield, Missouri, police arrested a 20-year-old man in body armor, so on and so forth. All right, you get the gist of where we're going with this, all right? So let's just... Let's see, I remember what public shooting it was. But I remember that the NRA had come out and made a statement that the problem isn't guns, it's violent video games. Now, the problem that I had during whatever mass shooting that was, and what the NRA said, is that the NRA was simply replacing one inanimate object with another inanimate object. So you can't sit here and say that guns are not the problem, but then you, a supporter of guns, Second Amendment, all that stuff, is then going to tote the stupidity that violence in entertainment is the problem. Also, a non-inanimate object. Because I don't know if anyone's figured this out. If you're going to sit here and tote this thing that it's not the gun that pulls the trigger, that same thing applies to the concept of video games. And I just want to point out that we're going to do some like very basic math, all right? So basic that we're not even going to write it down or anything of that nature. We're not even going to go into the details. It's just to give you an idea. Let's take Grand Theft Auto 5, all right? Now, we don't know the exact number for how many copies of Grand Theft Auto 5 was sold on day release and from when it released to this point. But that's a lot of copies within of itself. Even if we lowball it to say 1 million copies worldwide... You see, this is something I often tell people, is that math doesn't lie. And the biggest problem when it comes to these studies, or when it comes to politicians, or even stores doing stupid stuff like this, they fail to realize the simple truth. Math doesn't lie. And math disproves this notion or concept that violent entertainment will make people violent or more aggressive, as the current statement is to be used. Because if you remember back in the 90s, they were using the term, it would make a person more violent. It would cause a person to, actually go on a mass shooting. That was the term used. And then, of course, a few years later, they decided to change it to aggression rather than making a person violent. Because that very concept was disproven. But what every study, whether we're talking a study that is supposedly going to prove this aggression or a study that's going to disprove the aggression, the one thing that both of these types of studies have in common is they fail to realize the hard facts, numbers, and numbers don't lie. So like I was getting at, if we say 1 million copies of Grand Theft Auto were sold worldwide. Now, currently, from the FBI statistics, there has been no crime ever associated with a violent video game contributing, or a violent form of entertainment in general, contributing to why that person committed said crime. There is no statistic whatsoever that exists in that realm. But let's just play this motherfucking game because people are stupid. If we were to say that every mass shooting was, hypothetically, obviously not literal here, ladies and gentlemen, the actual result of somebody playing a video game, even then, the statement that violent video games or violent entertainment will make a person more aggressive or make them commit a crime would still be false. Why? Because numbers don't lie. 1 million copies of GTA 5 sold worldwide. Again, that's an estimate, ladies and gentlemen. Try and keep up. And even if we were to take every mass shooting, starting with Columbine all the way to here, in any public location, non-gang related, and we wanted to find out the percentage difference between the amount of people that bought this violent game to the possibility, the percent probability that they would commit a crime, become aggressive, do a mass shooting, you wouldn't even hit 1%. And here's another thing. We take that same number, 1 million copies, and now we're going to add in every violent video game ever made. But we're not done yet. Now we're going to throw in every comic book that is violent or aggressive. We're going to throw in every book. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Just simple novels, even short stories. And we're not done yet. We're even going to throw in television and film, which are kind of the same thing, but you get the point. Even animation, because there are certain animations, cartoons, that are more adult-oriented. Even if we take all of that stuff, the total amount of violent entertainment that we have worldwide in comparison to this fictional belief that politicians and certain people have that violent entertainment causes people to be more aggressive or to commit a crime, is total bullshit based on numbers alone. And like I said, the FBI has already came out like quite a few years ago stating that there is no such crime that was ever directly related to the cause or causation of the individual playing or being entertained by some form of violent entertainment. Numbers don't lie. You can't sit here when it comes to I remember, let's see, there was this young 18-year-old, I forget his name. It was like 2-3 years ago, maybe even 4 or 5. He was basically pulled over for a minor traffic violation, all right? They ended up taking him into the actual precinct where he somehow managed to get the keys to a patrol car and basically leave. And he led them on a chase. When they finally caught him and they asked him why he did it, he said, according to, various news articles, and I quote, "Life is like a video game. We all have to die sometimes." Everybody made a big deal about that. But this is an individual that is, number one, an adult. Number two, he's well aware of the controversy when it comes to crime and video games. So if he can deflect his excuse for, oh, this is why I did it, and people bought into it. And everyone failed to realize, everyone referred to him, even the media, as if he was a kid. But yet he was an 18-year-old grown-ass adult. But everyone wanted to make excuses for him. And here we are now, every time there's a mass shooting, and somehow it relates to violent entertainment, and what are politicians doing? They're making excuses. And ironically, it's not even excuses on whether we need to improve gun laws or anything of that nature. It's just they're making excuses for why this person committed this crime. If you are a politician, president or otherwise, and you're going to sit there and you're going to say that violent entertainment is the cause of why this person committed this crime, you're literally feeding them an excuse. And in my opinion, you're no better than them. Walmart removing violent... Okay, so what about violent films? How about books? Because they sell books, too. Every now and then you can find a graphic novel in there. Are they going to get rid of that shit, too? Or how about anything that could be representative of just violence in general? Hunting knives, guns. People want to perpetuate this idea when it comes to video games and violent entertainment that somehow it's the cause. And yet all they really do is just make excuses for the people that commit these crimes. That's literally all Walmart is really doing. It's like they're siding with the criminals. They're like, oh yeah, we agree with everyone. That's why these criminals, it's sad that they, were influenced by video games. So we're going to stop selling violent video games. For a while, though, we got to make our money somehow. It's like, you Anyway. So, yeah, I do plan on talking about the whole scenario about the 2 mass shootings and all the controversy that was surrounding that and violent entertainment. I'm working on a video for that one. But I thought I'd just give you my thoughts on Walmart. Well, Walmart acting like its customers, pretty much. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video in some fashion or form. And remember, gamers, if you're not voicing your thoughts and concerns about the bullshit that, stores attempt to lay claim to when it comes to violent entertainment, and, of course, politicians itself and people committing a crime, because it's not like they're fucking adults making a sound decision. And even, yes, I go as far as to say this whole concept of, this person suffered from depression. Stop making fucking excuses for them. They're grown-ass people making their own decisions. Same concept when it comes to like a teenager, such as the young men that did the Columbine shooting. They're still coherent enough to know right from wrong. So whether we're talking violent entertainment or whether we're talking mental health, stop fucking making excuses for people that decide to make a choice as an individual and execute that choice, be it positive or negative.